Hi there. So, on the 22nd of May this year, I had a heart attack. And I have to say, when you hear that people have life-changing experiences, that for me has been a major life-changing experience. I now understand fully from the other side what it means to change your lens on life. So that day I came in from work, sat down in the office as I would do at the end of a day, started to look at what I needed to do, started to think about some of the work that was going on, grabbed myself a cup of tea and a bit of food, and my chest started to hurt. And I had a very, very heavy feeling on my chest, like someone had put a weight on it. And then it started to go down my arms. So I went into the kitchen to my other half, Enton, and said, not feeling great, feeling a bit ill. My chest feels a bit funny. And then I felt sick, and then my face started going. So at first I thought I was maybe having a stroke. He thought I was having a panic attack, which I can smile about now because I really wasn't having a panic attack. And I've never had a panic attack, so I kind of knew it wasn't that. Anyway, sat around, didn't know what to do, felt sick, was sick, sat on the sofa for a bit, realised the doctor's was shut. So it's now sort of creeping towards 6:30. And I said, I think we probably ought to get it checked out. So I put a few logistics in place with my kids who were out and about doing various things after school. And Ent and I went down to the walk-in centre in Loughborough. It's one way to get through triage quite quickly, I can tell you. So we went straight in to see the doctor, and he was incredible. One of the calmest men I have ever met in my life. He was just so relaxed. It was great. Still feeling quite unwell I was. Gave him my symptoms. He did an ECG. He took my blood pressure, he took my pulse, he looked at how I presented in terms of my colour, and he said he wasn't too worried because everything was presenting okay. And clearly I was still not feeling very good, so he gave me some aspirin, and he said, I do want to send you to hospital for a blood test, which is a specific blood test for cardiac events, to rule it out for you. He then proceeded to hit 999 and get an ambulance, at which point I'm thinking, not sure. So we waited for the ambulance, that arrived, got in the ambulance, and that was the last time I saw daylight in terms of ambulances and hospitals for about a week. So we ended up at the Leicester Royal at the emergency department. We were met by a consultant there who were, again, incredible, really lovely chap. He said he wasn't too worried because everything was presenting fine, my colour was fine, the ambulance people had said the same, I still wasn't feeling great. And by about 9 o'clock I'd had this specific blood test. We then waited until, I think, just after midnight. Various other things happened, which I won't bore you with the details. And eventually a junior doctor sort of said, yes, we've got your results. Just give me a second. He disappeared, came back with a consultant that I'd met at 9 o'clock, which I thought was a bit odd. I thought, why is he coming back in? Anyway, sat down and he looked me straight in the eye and he said, I'm really sorry I got it wrong. He said, you have had a heart attack. And the cardiac blood test that they did is for a thing called troponin. And troponin levels in you and I nowadays at a normal level are about 2 to 5. And my first reading was over 1100. And then the second reading later on was over 3,500. And kind of blew my mind. Enton looked like someone had smacked him in the face. And the first thing I said with very direct eye contact to the consultant was, will I see my girls again? And he said, yes, you will. You will. You will absolutely see your girls again. And I can honestly say to you, at that moment, I have no idea what happened then in terms of everything just changed. It was a fear and a scared feeling I don't know that I could ever put into words for you. And yet... a very calm feeling, okay, I'm in it, this chap is telling me I'm okay, and he stayed with me. He clocked off work at 11:30, and we're now about 12:15, and they had to call another ambulance to take me to Glenfield Hospital, and that didn't arrive for about 2 hours, and he sat with us for 2 hours and was just incredible and kept me calm. He said, I'll answer you any question except for the why me question. That's kind of a tough gig, so we didn't ask the why me question. And I didn't think why me. I just was in a state of shock, calm because I knew what was going on in terms of I had a diagnosis of a heart attack and I wasn't just making it up. and quite scared because I didn't know what was going to happen. So eventually got to Glenfield about 3 o'clock in the morning, and then lots of consultants, lots of tests, lots of things going on, lots of hypothesis of what could have happened. So I'm going to leave it there. You can probably see I'm a little bit rocked by just telling you that. So what I'm going to do is just leave it there, allow you to digest that, and I'll come back in a little while to take you through the next steps of what happened within that week. Thank you so much for listening. Please leave any comments and do get in touch if you feel you need to. Thanks. Bye-bye.